Ohio has joined a growing number of states legalizing marijuana for recreational use. Let's talk about the new rules that might be added here. Governor Mike DeWine has some general thoughts about it, and so does WLWT News 5's John London, who went upstate today to hear all about it.
Saying he fully accepts the will of the people on recreational pot, Ohio's governor nevertheless wants to protect people from the smell of marijuana, secondhand smoke style, outside.
Governor Mike DeWine did not want Ohioans to approve recreational marijuana, but concedes that's what voters wanted. 57% of them decided Tuesday night that the time had come. That state lawmakers will now make adjustments is a given. DeWine wants guardrails so that children are protected from advertising and the inadvertent consumption of edibles like marijuana gummies and baked goods.
We've already seen an uptick in the number of children going to our emergency rooms because they ingested, they ate what looked to them to be a brownie, what looked to them to be a cookie.
He expects, literally, higher instances of impaired driving. We were unable to smoke out specifics of what he wants the General Assembly to do, but here's his broad notion based on a recent visit to a place he would not identify.
You walked around the city, and it was a rare time when you were not smelling marijuana. I think people have a right not to. What the voters have said, people have a right to smoke marijuana. That's fine, but other people have a right not to smell it, and not to have their kids or their grandkids exposed to it.
The language of Issue 2 does not allow smoking pot anywhere you want to in public. Bars, restaurants, and other public places would make that determination. Supporters of Issue 2 say don't inflate the challenge with this, that you can't drink alcohol anywhere you want either. The governor wants clarity by December 7th when it goes into effect.
I think it's important that we get this done, and we get it done quickly, and we get it done thoughtfully, and we come up with a package so everybody knows at least what the ground rules are as we start to go through this, which is something new for the state of Ohio.
Governor DeWine intends to meet with the House Speaker and the Senate President Monday morning to establish ground rules. He wants everything clearly in place on recreational pot by December 7th. In Columbus, John London, WLWT News 5.
Now, Governor DeWine sees a lot of holes in Issue 2, and he wants them filled so that the state doesn't end up taking something away from people after pot becomes legal less than 30 days from right now.